What's up, guys? Matt Duty Joking here. You guys know what it is, man. Title says it all. You want to be a competitive player, right? I got 7 beginner tips for you. So this is basically got me where I'm at, right? So for those that don't know, I've been playing NRS titles for about 6, 7 years competitively, right? You might have seen my Joker and Justice 2, Devore and MK11, and Joker, right? So and then we reached 33rd at Evo 2023 is Seer and MK11 using Deborah. So how do you even get there, right? So that's where these tips going to come in, right? And I just, it might work for you, it might not. I'm just telling you what works for me, man. So we're just going to go to settings, right? Tip number 1 is settings. Health details. So like, it just tells you how much health you have, how much opponent has. Default is on, right? But this is actually really good to have, right? You can do some mental math, right? If you already know how much damage your combos do, you can do the math. Like first game, first round, opponent has 35% health, right? You have 2 bars in fatal, but maybe you don't need to use it, right? So like maybe 35% leaderless combos, like one cameo, right? That you could use, and you have resources next round. So like some like mental math like that, just decision making that helps out, right? These two, right? These two are pretty important. Offlane put delay in the match replays. Default is on. You're gonna want to look back at your losses, ask some questions. Why am I losing to this? So, and then the offlane put delay. Why is this important? Why is it important? So, there's a little bit of context. 2 timings, right? There's like an offline timing, when you're playing your friends at home, right? Or you're playing the story, invasion, so you're just laughing, right? It's offline timing, right? So like if you're competing, going to locals, that's the timing that you gotta get used to. Online timing, you're playing Combat League, you're playing with your friends online, you're playing the COD, right? The online time highly different. So what's the difference that's really big is the flawless block timing and the like timing of your combos, right? Combos will drop most likely, right? It's because of the delay. So you turn this on. Anytime you lab, it's gonna mimic the Wi-Fi, right? It's gonna mimic an online timing, which is really helpful if you're just competing, in exhibitions, online tournaments and stuff. But if you're doing both, you're gonna want to just switch this off when you're getting ready, for like a local or like a major. So we got that. Controls, keep it simple. I like to keep mine on short. The default for release check is on. That's actually the first thing you want to do is turn this shit off. I don't know why these two controls makes this the default. Everyone turns it off. Turn it off. Thank me later. So we got input shortcuts on, button shortcuts on, and alternate controls off. And that's about it. Tip number 2. Before you even start playing, and you want to play competitively, right? No one's going to let you play in online tournaments if you're on Wi-Fi, right? I don't know, this tip's going to kill me because, my people that know me, my situation is complicated. I'm only wired on Saturdays. Every other day I'm on Wi-Fi. Not looking so good, huh? But it is how it is. People are not going to let you in if you're on Wi-Fi. So if your situation isn't as complicated as mine, and you have like, pretty decent internet, I'm talking decent like Cox cable or something better than that, right? Don't get the T-Mobile, don't get no hotspot internet, no satellite internet. Get get internet, right? And get yourself an Ethernet cable so you're wired. It's like $5 on Amazon. $5 and you get like 100-foot cable. You can have it like all over your home alone type of shit, right? And it's just better, right? It's a good luxury to have to be wired. And make sure that when you do it, your settings is LAN cable, right? Tip number 3, picking your character. The tried and true method for me, well, maybe not true method, but I just see a character, I like it, I make it work, I'm committed to it, you know? I don't care who it was, whether it was on a tier list, that was the character I was going to main, no one's going to stop me. That's one way to look at it, right? Another way to look at it from a competitive standpoint is use some top tiers, man. Use what everyone else is using. Why not, man? Use it while, like, but don't just use one. Use a few just in case, you know, one gets nerfed, right? You got Baraka, you got Kenshi, Johnny Cage. I'm eyeing them, right, as side characters. They're pretty great, right? So that's another way, right? But since it's MK1, it's not as simple as that, right? You got cameos, got a whole nother roster. So, like with Baraka, you're gonna want to use Cyrax, right? But like you also want to use some other cameos as well. Get familiar with the game, right? There's more to it than just Serena, right? And Serena. Yeah, there's more to it, right? But just get, like, cause like with Reptile, people thought like Scorpion was away or Sector was away, but then later you find like cool tech from things like Darius or is it Darius? Darius. All right, my bad. So we got Striker, cool stuff. Kung Lao, I just found some cool stuff with Sub-Zero, some cool stuff. You gotta explore the game a little bit, right? And like a bonus tip to get these cameos pretty quickly. Yeah, I'll show you. You just gotta do invasions, right? And then when you do invasions, yes, it's just being slow. So like each realm that you do gives you like a cameo, right? So like, if you complete this one, cool. And then like as soon as you start the next one, I think like mid like in the very beginning, you just get the next cameo, and it's kind of, at least that's how it might have changed or not, but that's how I got it for me. So tip number 4, I mean, you're already doing it, right? That's how you got to this video. You're looking across the internet. That's my tip, right? You want to get better at the game, but it's not just you. There's other people getting better at the game, right? Other people are finding stuff, right? There's updates, there's news, there's guides, there's tech. Where can you find this, right? So let's look at YouTube first. What do we have on YouTube? What are our options? We're going to put some on the screen, right? So we got pro players that are uploading high-level gameplay, right? Sonic Fox, Ninja Killa, Rewind, Tweety, Wazimeter. I mean, really great, right? Like good content creators, right? So we got that. We got people that do the news, right? Maybe you want to see what's up with the game, see what's in store in the future. There's people like that, right? Just some on the side. You got people that give you the patch notes, that cover it, to give you a little bit of tech here, guides. That's Roofamonger, right? So there's that. I just some other stuff. You can look up like, you know, tournaments, you know, in the past too, of course. Twitter, known as X, I'm still gonna call it Twitter. Now, this is where you're gonna look for tech, right? All the new tech. People are not shy at sharing their tech. All you have to do is just search up MK1 Punish Serena, right? I'm pretty sure Aziz has that character punishing it for you. So Aziz, he's a lab monster. Shinless, a lab monster, to help you figure out how to punish certain things. And in some cases, maybe with your character, right? Very, like a lot of lab monsters on Twitter, right? Pros on there too, right? And this is where you will go to for tournaments, right? They'll have links to their Discord or like the tournament link itself, right? So there's that. So you can get people like MF Slayer. You got the Shirai Ryu Sundays. You got Poseidon and is it like Skash? Like that's hosting Shirai Ryu. We got Rips Arena. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'm gonna put it on the screen. There's stuff like that, and you can see these tournaments mostly on Twitch. And Twitch is where all the pro players are streaming as well, right? There's always like a pro player streaming. You know, you got Hayate, Forever King, Tweety, sometimes Sonic Fox, you know, sometimes Ninja Killa, a Foxy Grandpa, right? He's also pretty good on YouTube. I forgot to mention that. So tip number 5 is labbing effectively. So in the lab, you got everything that you need, right? You want to be like Ninja Killa. You want to know every single frame, every single gap, anything that you can armor through. Ninja Killa's gonna know that. He's gonna know that. He's gonna lab all of this shit. Now, some people not human, right? You know, but it can be overwhelming because you got like 23 characters and 15 cameos. That's a lot to do, right? So that's the thing about it. You want to lab a bit, you want to play, right? You want to take what you learn in the lab and apply it online, right? That's like that's where you want to succeed at, right? And I'm not talking about just combos. You gotta learn everything, every punish, all of that, right? And it tells you everything, right? You got all the frame data right here. Even the cameos got frame data. Don't forget that. Don't just learn your character. You gotta learn everyone else, right? You don't have to learn how to play them. Just enough to, you know, like lab, right? Just enough to like know what type of mix-ups they have, right? Anything that can open you up is what you want to lab, right? Or maybe like the pressure, right? Like maybe their pressure is fake. You know what I mean? Like you won't know unless you lab it, right? Or unless, you know, you get your ass handed quite a few times and figure it out the hard way. But not to mention they're both the hard way, right? But at least when you lab right here, you learn the hard way, but you also find an answer, right? You can find answers, right? So one of the important features is the frame data. Put it on, and I'm gonna keep this type short because I want to make like a separate guide for this, right? Because it's such a great tool, right? Like labbing has evolved greatly, and there's a lot of tools. I can make a guide for this. I'm gonna show you how you can do neutrals, well, like how you play the neutral game, how you can play it to your own character. I'm gonna do that. So, like I said, keep your notifications on. Yeah, we'll make it. So like I said, you can turn on frame data. As you can see, it shows you live, right? Like startup. So startup, block advantage, and hit advantage. Those are like the top 3 that you want to look at. Let's see, I got the reversal one. Okay, so you can see that block advantage and then hit advantage, right? And I'll show you what all that means, right? Jailing and all, plus frames, all of that, right? I'll tell you all that in the labbing guide. But we got that. Another important feature is the recording thing, right? I'm gonna keep it brief. So what you can do with this feature is you probably want to like do this with like pressure. You want to figure out like a gap between it where it's a little bit more complex than just, you know, right? A little bit more complex like stuff. So you can like learn the character a little bit, and then you can just apply it right here, and then you just try to block. So you don't have to just do that. You can record multiple, right? So you got like a hard to block, or maybe you're actually trying to like react to a mixer, right? You can do right here, you can do random hidden, so you won't know which one's coming next, right? You just react, right? Okay, it's a little fast, not gonna lie. Not bad. So tip number 6 is playing people who are better than you. So what do I mean by that? Players that are not your level, players that will beat your ass 10-0, right? Something like that, right? Somewhere along those lines, right? Because those are like players that are going to tell you what you're doing wrong. They're going to expose your bad habits, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to ask questions, right? Okay, maybe not everyone will give you the answers, right? Some won't even just talk to you, right? But some will, right? So, where can you find these type of players? Plenty of ways, right? The last resort is Combat League, right? you're not really gonna find pro players that easily, not until you get to the ranks of demigod, god, and elder god, right? That's where things kind of spice up, right? But yeah, like I said, last resort, that is one way. And you got plenty of time to get to those ranks, right? And it's a good way to set goals, right? Sort of playing Combat League as a goal. Right. Tournaments, right? Like I mentioned earlier, there's tournaments, exhibitions. People are playing for money, right? They got money on the line. Yeah, definitely some hungry players, right? So that's another way. Pros as well, you know. Some are chill about it. You could probably DM on Twitter or maybe pop up in one of the streams. Like I said, they're on Twitch, they're on Facebook, they're on YouTube, right? Mostly Twitch, right? That's like the easiest way. Some have a paywall behind it, right? If you want to pay to play them, that's entirely up to you. Not everyone is like that, but there are some, right? And some are just completely Hollywood, right? They just only play other pros. That's it. But like I said, if you get across a player like that, you want to ask them questions. Hey, man, why am I getting hit by this? Is this like, is this a grab? Is this an overhead? Is this plus? What am I doing wrong, right? What am I not doing? What can I use for an anti-air, right? Stuff like that, right? Is this fake? Gaps. Like you want to ask questions. I don't care how annoying it is, but you trying to learn the game, right? I think everyone is, you know. So the final tip that we have is, well, the seventh tip is the mental health, right? Work on your mentality, right? Mental health. Why did I say that, right? Yeah, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at rage, right? What are you doing when you're rageful, right? Anger. Fucking seething, right? And then you're in Combat League and you're losing, right? You click, find next opponent. You're still losing. Fucking angry, right? And you're probably not even like asking questions. You're just going in for the win, for the kill, for the throat, right? You want that sweet revenge. And if you're still losing after all that, I'd say put the controller down. Clear your mind. Now let's look at the other side of things. You have a clear mind, right? You could ask yourself questions, right? Between rounds, between games, right? That's the type of mindset that you want to have, right? Okay, well, maybe I should be blocking. Or maybe he's blocking. I should try grabbing him, right? I'm getting hit by this, right? I'm getting hit by this. So let me just try blocking. So like, just stuff like that. Or maybe you have no clue what you got hit by. So maybe I save those questions till after the set. Don't even go to the next set. Figure out those answers. So that's the thing. People don't want to take the time to do that, right? Me too. I just want to play the game, but you got to, right? Or else you're never gonna know. That's the thing. The game gives you those tools. It gives you the match replay, right? It gives you the lab, right? You figure the fuck out, and then the next time you see him, you can clock him, right? So like that's the thing. Like I said, people don't want to take time, but that's the only way, right? You gotta be able to ask yourself those questions, right? So like that's the main thing. Any experience that you get on this game is an opportunity for like a learning experience, right? That's the mentality that you want to have. You can learn, like I said, it gives you the tools. Whether you want to be a competitive player, you got to use those tools, man. It's great, right? But those are the tips, man. If I helped you out, let me know, man. We got the labbing guide, which is gonna be really helpful, right? So, but if it didn't, and you still got questions, you know what? Ask away, man. You know, like I said, this works for me. It may not work for everybody. But if you enjoy this shit, subscribe, leave a like, whatever, man. Share it, right? So, we're gonna keep the outro short. I'll see you guys in the next one.